Okay, grilling with the good dogs here. It's gonna be kind of a long one, so let me go over this. When hunting, shot a big boar. Usually, boar is not gonna be very good. It's gonna be tough and gamey, so I'm gonna try and mitigate that as much as possible, and eventually I'm gonna make some pulled pork out of it. First thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna soak it in. I have the sink filled with water. I'm gonna put some salt in there, mix it around, and let it soak for a little while in salt water before I freeze it. You're gonna want to freeze it. But yeah, so let it soak in salt water for a little while, and then I'll show y'all when I kind of take it out of here, clean it up, and get it ready to put in the freezer. Grilling with the good dogs. Okay, so you can kind of see that the water's getting a bit cloudy. What the salt water is doing is actually drawing the blood out of the meat. So that's going to hopefully mitigate some of the gaminess. I'm going to leave it in here for another few hours, and then I'm going to try and vacuum seal it and put it in the freezer and let it freeze. I've got a few more things to do after that, but still, this is the first step. There's usually much better ways you can avoid doing this with wild game. This was a really quick night hunt. It was just quarter them, throw them in the ice chest, and get them home. So this is the best way I could think of doing it. All right, so it's been in here for about maybe 7 hours now. I'm gonna take it out, pat it down, do some vacuum sealing with it. We're gonna roll with that for a little while. I've heard that you can kind of pre-freeze brine it like this for 2 days. I'm not gonna do that. I think the red dragon would kill me. But yeah, so we're gonna pat it down, throw it in the freezer, and then I don't know when I'm going to do a pork butt, do some pulled pork. But it should be good. Hopefully we can get this boar to taste like a pig. Grill with the good dogs. We make the impossible possible. Okay, so I've patted it down dry. I'm making a sealed bag right now. Probably make a pretty long bag right here from here to here. Grilling with the good dogs. It's gonna get done right. You want to pat it down as dry as you can. You don't want to leave any water on it, especially a most likely gamey animal like this. But I promise you, we're gonna get this thing tasting like the fattiest piece of pork butt you ever seen. We're gonna do it because we're the good dogs. They're actually sequestered right now. So believe it or not, we got it to fit into that bag pretty well. Pretty good. Hands width right there. Nice and dry. Gonna put it in the sealer. I can't really do this one-handed with holding the phone in my hand, so y'all aren't gonna get to watch it. But I'm gonna try and make sure to work out as much air as you can when you do this. So when you get that done, we'll see what this finished product is, and then throw it in the freezer. Grilling with the good dogs. All right, so we actually got a pretty good seal on it, I think. I mean, you can see it contouring. When you pinch the bag, the meat's pinching with it. So not one of the best jobs I've ever done, but it's better than I expected, to be totally honest with everybody. So, all right. Throw this in the freezer, and I guess the next time y'all see it is when I decide to do some pulled pork. Yep. Grilling with the good dogs. I guess y'all will be seeing it again soon. All right, we're grilling with the good dogs. So this is that boar butt that we had that I told y'all about. Hopefully it's not going to be too gamey. Took it out of the freezer. There's a Klein Bear. There's a Corkle, and there's the Cousins. Going to be taking them on a walk soon, so we'll see how that works out. We're going to slather this thing down in mustard while I go get the smoker ready. Now, a lot of people have asked me, why do you slather it down in mustard? The mustard helps cling whatever rub you're going to put on there. So you put the mustard on, and then we're going to put some of the rub on there. Mustard acts like a glue. It's going to stick better to the meat. Nothing's going to fall off or anything. So we're going to get that thing ready, and I'll come back with it in a second. Where's the logo? There it is. All right. So now we got it slathered down with the mustard. Maybe put some more in there, but I think we're good. We're just doing a dry one for now. Later on, we're going to do pulled pork. I'm going to separate the meat because I'm not going to make all the meat into like a sloppy Joe kind of pulled pork. Some of it's going to go for banh mi's. Some of it's going to go for a sloppy Joe pulled pork. It's going to go all over the place. So I just want the rub. Now what's the rub going to be? It's going to be a mixture of Stubbs pork rub, smokehouse maple, and bacon chipotle. All of these are fine on their own. I love every single one of them. Cannot say enough good things about them. Get them all. Now, I'm mixing them all on here because I just want to just put as much flavor as I can on this thing. Again, hopefully we can get rid of some of the gaminess. It is a boar. It is not a sow. So hopefully we can overpower it with the power of McCormick products. Grilling with the good dogs. Mix all that up. Yeah, just mix it all up. That maple and the bacon to give a really good sweet and just it's a smell you can't beat. The pork rub, the stubs, you're not gonna. I don't know. I feel like you don't smell it as much, but you definitely taste it a good bit. But the bacon chipotle and the smokehouse maple are very aromatic on your rubs. Very good. All right, so now it's all mixed up. I'm gonna slather the whole thing down. Once the whole thing has all the rub on it, let it sit. We're smoking. We're not rushing anything. Just gonna let it sit for a little while. And when we go on the smoker, again, this is a boar. It could toughen up a lot. I'm gonna do very low heat the entire time. Some people like to bump up the heat midway through cooking like a pork butt and stuff. I'm not doing that. This is gonna be low heat the whole time. And I'm gonna come back and baste it every now and then in its own juices probably. See what works out. I would be remiss if I didn't address this. If you're going to use a wet rub, then like let's say a barbecue sauce, like your Stubbs Sticky Sweet, I would still put some sugar in there, okay? I mean, if you're gonna use a cup of this to rub all this down, maybe put, I don't know, 1/8 of a cup of like white sugar. Not powdered sugar, but just like granulated sugar. Things like your smokehouse maple ingredients and your bacon chipotle ingredients, those have sugar in them. They have brown sugar, so we're good to go there. I do not believe that there is any sugar in the Stubbs pork rub. That's okay. Again, we have these two in there. So we have sugar on it. You can start it, see to make it a little glaze there. God, and it smells so good. So just again, you want to add sugar. It will help. Get on the good dog. All right, there's our delicious boar butt. We got it set at 225. The probes are at 64 and 66. We're going to want to bring that up to 165. Again, we're going to keep it at 225 for the smoke. Going with the good dogs. It's probably going to, I'm assuming it's going to take at least 5 hours, maybe more. See what happens. Check back in with y'all. There's the Cousins. Oh, wait, that's a Chef Klein bear. And one. That is a lean butt. I think it's been on there maybe 2 hours. And it's already at 165. Woo, doggies. What do you think about that, Cousin? Grilling with the good dogs. Let's look at this bastard. Yeah, ain't much. All right, let me go get some of my stuff. We'll start tearing up the meat. See what happens. Grilling with the good dogs. I don't know. This is gonna be interesting. Feels pretty soft. Bones. I mean, the meat's not really coming off the bone. It's pretty tight on there. This was a jacked pig. All right, we'll bring it inside here. We'll see what happens when we start tearing it up with the meat claws. That's gonna be interesting. That is gonna be interesting indeed. Hopefully it tastes good. We'll see. Now, I have flipped it over. I have a meeting in a few minutes. So I am going to flip it over. I'm gonna cover it in foil. Let it just kind of sit there before I start tearing it apart with the meat claws. I might rip off some here. Oh, God, that's pretty tough. That is going to require some serious meat clawing. I'm gonna try and tear some off and see if I can taste it. See what we're getting into here. There's the good dogs. There's the chefs. Cousins, what y'all doing, Cousins? So we'll leave it in the oven for a little while. Once my meeting's over, we'll come back and attack it. What do you think, Cousin? Chef Kleinbear? It's going in there. You good with that? You good with that, Chef Kleinbear? Watch yourself, dog. Who knows? It tasted all right, so we'll see what happens. Grill with the good. All right, we're actually back out on the grill. I had my brisket hat on. I was not thinking. So when you go to do pulled pork, and I got some seasoning because I flipped it over. After I had tasted it, I was like, man, something's wrong. Let me go back and check my instructions. And it's been in the oven for maybe 2 minutes. And I was like, oh shoot, we're doing pulled pork. When you do pulled pork, you're gonna leave it in there until it's about 210 degrees. Why do you do that? Because you give it time to let all the collagen and all the constituents inside the meat break down a bit more. Okay, so that's why I was gonna go up to about 210 degrees, 205, 210, somewhere in there. I'm gonna let that happen. I'm gonna get it back up. So yep. Rolling with the good dogs. Keep it rolling. That smoke coming off there. Look at these two chefs. Chef Klein by Chef Corkle. Coozin 2. Running around, crazy dogs. Rained a bunch. But I could take them on a walk here soon. What do you think, Chef Klein? Chef Cork? Oh. Let me go put a shirt on and then we'll go. Look at them good dogs. Okay, so this is on there. I mean, it's midnight now. It's on there for a while. I'm gonna start tearing it apart here with the meat claws. Put it away. I'll try some of it, see how it tastes, but I think it's gonna be pretty good. Chef Kleinberg's going to check on it. Yeah, let's start tearing it apart. See what that's tearing up pretty good. Let me pick up a little piece here. See if we can try some of it. Definitely a little dry, but it doesn't taste bad. Not too chewy. Or not tough to chew, rather. Pretty good. I can't wait to make some sandwiches out of this. We'll call that a win. I won't plan on cooking any boars if I get them, but hate to waste food, so like it. Them the good dogs. Them the cousins. We'll call it a success. I don't have a logo. Where's the logo at? Crap. Oh well. Alright, so more going with the good dogs. This is that pork butt, that boar butt that we had. It's all shredded. This is just one of the containers I have. What are we going to do with it? We're going to make a banh mi sandwich. Now, banh mi is a Vietnamese kind of dish. Banh mi is actually just a word for bread. The pork is actually going to be like a Thit Nguyen, I think is how it's spelled or it's pronounced. But it's just the type of pork. It's how the pork's cooked. We already smoked this, but we're going to make a sauce to go on it. We got some pistolets that I'm going to put it on. What you need for the whole banh mi sandwich: some cilantro, carrots, cucumber. For the sauce, you're going to want garlic. I'm going to use a teaspoon of sriracha, tablespoon of sriracha, 6 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, 6 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, and then 2 tablespoons of honey and premium fish sauce. Let me get that ready. Now for the hoisin sauce and the rice wine vinegar, I'm using 1/3 cup, 80 milliliters. You need about 90 milliliters, but I'm just doing this. So it's going to be about 6 tablespoons of each. Mixing in there, I already got the sriracha, the honey, and the garlic in there. Gonna put that in there, mix it up, and you're gonna let that sit for 15 minutes, or just however long you want, out in room temperature, while I get the vegetables ready. Let me finish mixing that together. Now I bought this. I've heard it's a good alternative to soy sauce. I don't particularly like soy sauce. Let me give it a smell. I mean, it's an interesting smell, I guess. I don't know. I eat a lot of sushi, so I'm told to put it on the sushi, see how much you like it. So, yeah, we'll keep it around. Usually I don't have this, so this is a new purchase. Yeah, I think we got to find a good consistency. Remember, this is, I'm going to heat up the meat, and I'm going to mix it with some of this. I'll have this in a container so I can have a few of these throughout the week. Oh, there's the chefs right there. So next I'm going to be getting the carrots and cucumber ready. What I plan to do is just slicing with this so I can get nice thin strips to put on the sandwich. Okay. Another thing you're going to need with the bread is mayonnaise. I'm going to use some sriracha mayo that I have. So we'll be pulling that out when the sandwich is ready to eat pretty much. But you're going to put that on before you put any of this stuff onto the bread, that is. So we're going to let this sit. All right, now that's 2 carrots worth. That's the shredded, and then when it got too small, I had to just put it down like that. Now, the best way to get as much shredding as you can is lay the carrot down on the cutting board and pinch it on this side, and then work this that way. That way you can keep constant pressure on that. You can get a lot of nice, good flakes. And then eventually it gets too small, and then you just have to chop it up. And that's about 2 carrots worth right there. So that's going to go in there, go in the fridge. Once you get working on this, we've done a good bit of the cucumber. Now, again, I like them nice and thin. You can chop them into spears. You can chop them into big chunks. This is just how I usually like the banh mi sandwiches. I got these cut to about maybe a 1/16 of an inch, a little bit like that, but pretty good. See-through right there. That's how I like it. I can stack up a bunch of these on the sandwich. To each their own. If you want to cut them into long chunks or logs, have at it. This is how I like it. Grilling with them good dogs. All things considered, this was a pretty piss poor selection of cilantro, but it's all they had at the store, really. So I'm going to chop it up. Now, again, one thing that I am missing you can throw on there is fresh jalapenos. I don't have any. Didn't really want to put any on it this time. I was going to see. Didn't want to kill this sauce. I kind of want to see how that sauce turned out. So maybe later on this week, I'll go buy some jalapenos and throw them on there. But for this one right now, I'm not going to put any jalapenos. It's going to be cilantro, cucumber, carrots. And then, of course, the sauce and the pork. And then the mayonnaise on the bread. Chop this. I cut up the pistolette, put it in the toaster, and let that toast. One of the most important things, if you learn anything from this video. So we're going to take some of this pork, we're going to put it in this bowl, throw it in the microwave. What you want in there is a mug of water when you do this, okay? Anytime you're going to microwave smoked meats, to reheat them, please put a mug of water in with it, okay? So fill this up. I'm not going to put any sauce on it or anything. We're just going to heat this up, put it in here, probably like 30 seconds. Okay, that'll be all you need. Do that mug of water. You will not regret it. Show them the logo. Show them that Chef Kleinbear. What do you think, dog? All right, so we got some of that sriracha mayo on that side of the bread. We're going to take some of the sauce, drizzle it on this side of the bread. But the main thing you're going to do with that sauce is now that the meat is out of the microwave. It's pretty good. I think it may need to go in there a bit longer. Yeah, it's going to go in a bit longer. But if you're doing it for a big group of people, get a bigger bowl, I just dump that in there. For this, I'm just going to dump a little bit in, mix it around, and then boom on the sandwich. I won't get the other vegetables on there. When we finish doing this, you'll see what it looks like in a minute. You can see the meat steaming in it. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see a little bit. This is the consistency. It's not like a thick barbecue sauce you expect from pulled pork. This is just going to be like a glaze kind of. Some on the bread. Got the mayo on the bread. I'm going to start pouring this on here. Let it seep in some. It might be easy to do off camera. Yeah, just going to start dumping some of that in there. Letting it get all mixed in there real good. And that's going to go on there. Get back to it. Oh, we got both chefs here now, huh? On baby girl. Right, so now we got it. There's all the pork. Still got a good enough, probably enough for another sandwich in here. See how hungry I am after this one. Good amount of carrots. There's a big layer of carrots. Underneath that, a layer of pork. More carrots, the cilantro. Good layer of pork and the mayonnaise under there. And a good layer of cucumber. Maybe more. No, let's start taking some bites of it. I'm excited. I can't wait. I love banh mi, so this is my first one I've actually made myself, so we'll see what happens. So, grilling with the good dogs. Let's do some taste testing. Can I do it holding the phone? The chefs are going crazy. I had to stop myself halfway through that sandwich. That is absolutely delicious. I'm so glad. I'm so glad because I love banh mi sandwiches. And I really think that the addition of the sriracha into the glaze and the sriracha mayo pretty much negates the need for jalapenos. If you really like jalapenos, please put them on there. I just never really felt like I wanted them on there. But, oh, so good. I'm actually going to throw another baguette into the toaster right now to get it ready for the rest of this stuff because that's just so darn good and I am starving today. So grilling with the good dogs. Guys, that is a win. I do suggest trying that anytime you make some pulled pork. Try this out. Have some fun. Good stuff. There's the stars. There's the real stars of the show. Right there.